friend, welcome back to my YouTube channel Learn English with Nisha. So friend, in today's video I'm going to talk about, is it really important to think in English, to speak English, to become fluent in English? So let's begin this video. Friend, if you ask to me, is it really important to think in English, to speak English, to become fluent in English? I will say yes, it is important. And if you want to speak English fluently and effortlessly, then you should think in English. But how you can develop thinking habit in English, how you can develop everything, I will tell you in this video. So friend, here I would like to tell you about myself little bit so that you can correlate and understand, and it will help you because our background, I think it is same. I'm also from Hindi medium background and from village. So friend, when I was beginner and heard think in English, if you want to speak English fluently, effortlessly, so think in English. Don't think in Hindi. Don't translate Hindi to English. I heard it and I tried hard to think in English, but I could not, because when I used to try to think in English, that time my mind used to go blank, and I used to think that what I should think, how I should think, because my I used to get my mind blank and empty at that time whenever I used to try to think in English. And I will say that you must be facing this problem whenever you try to think in English in your beginning days, you in your initial days. Yeah, who is beginner, if they are trying, so they also get the same problem. They try to think in English, but they getting this, that what should I think, how I should think. You will find your mind is empty and you are not getting what you should think and how you should think. So in our initial time we face this issue. So but my dear friend, it is not easy to think in English, but it is not impossible to. You can think in English. How you can think in English, I will tell you. Because now I can think in English. I don't need to translate Hindi to English and then do speaking. No, directly I can think in English and speak English. So how I did it? My dear friend, when I tried hard and I could not get success, so I stopped trying to think in English, because I felt at that time it is not my cup of tea. And how I used to speak English and practice by translating Hindi to English. So I kept doing that one. I kept doing translating Hindi to English, and in this way I used to speak with the people and with myself. So here I will say that if you are beginner and if you want to speak English fluently and effortlessly and develop thinking habit, so don't try to pressurize yourself to think in English. Whenever you try, you won't get anything. You will get your mind empty and you won't get anything to think in English. So the way you do practice by translating Hindi to English, keep doing practicing by translating. It is not bad. Okay, it is not bad. If you are beginner and it is your initial time, so it is not bad. Keep doing translating by Hindi to English, and in this way you know you will develop your thinking in English. How? Let's suppose you have to say, where are you going? Okay, you have to say, आप कहाँ जा रहे हो? And you are translating, where are you going? and in this way you speak. First you would think in Hindi, then translate, and after that you ask. If you have to ask someone, you ask in this way. And same thing, same sentences, you needed to ask for 5 times, and you asked the same way by translate first, by translating Hindi to English. Okay, so what will happen if you keep asking in same way, in sixth way, seventh way, and yeah, eighth way, 8 times, you know this sentence will fit in your mind. And in seventh time and eighth time, you don't need to translate and think first in Hindi and then translate in English. No, because you practiced 4 times, say 5 times, 6 times, and now you are habitual. You became habitual of these sentences. So you will ask directly, where are you going? So that is why I'm saying it is not bad to speak English by translating Hindi to English. Keep doing. Initially you will face problem, it will take time into translation, but if you keep doing, so sooner or later you will be habitual of those things and words and sentences, and those sentences and words will come out automatically. In this way, by practicing, you will fill the gap between Hindi to English in your mind, and in this way you will fill the gap and start speaking. That words will come directly in English into your mind. First you won't need to think in English and translate. This is the first method, and you need to keep doing. It is not bad thing, it is good thing. Okay, and that is how I developed thinking habit. That is how I developed thinking habit. Okay, one more important thing you have to do, you have to listen a lot. Yes, my dear friend, you have to listen a lot. Why? Because whenever we speak our mother tongue, at the time we don't need to think. But we feel that we don't think. Before speaking in our mother tongue, we don't think. But no, my dear friend, we think. But that thinking happen within second. We don't realize, we don't observe, we don't see that much fast. That much fast it happens. So that a thinking process, it happens when we speak our mother tongue, but it happens very fast. And why we can think in our mother tongue? Because we have been speaking our mother tongue language since our childhood, and in our mind there are a lot of words, sentences, vocabulary, thought, ideas are are available in our mind. Our mind is full of sentences, words, ideas in our mother tongue. That is why we can think, we can speak anything. But coming to the English, in our mind there is no word. If we have some word, we know word, some words, some sentences, so those words and sentences are not active in our mind. And whenever we try to think in English, so we find our mind is empty and blank, and we think that what I should think, how I should think, because your mind is empty. There is no vocabulary, there is no sentences, there is no ideas, there is no topic. And in this way, you are not able to think in English. And if you have word and sentences, those word sentences are not active in your mind. So that is why listening is essential. If you want to think in English, and if you want to speak English and fluently, effortlessly, so you have to listen, so that you can grab accumulate words, sentences, vocabulary, ideas, topic, and in this way your mind will be filled with English words, sentences, ideas, idioms, and in this way you will get thought related to English, and your mind will start thinking bit by bit, not fastly and suddenly, but when you will have ideas, you will have sentences, you will have words, your mind will start thinking bit by bit. Okay, so that is why I'm saying you have to, if you want to develop a thinking habit, so you have to keep speaking by translating Hindi to English. If you do, अगर आप जो है ट्रांसलेट करके बोलते हैं तो करो, अगर आपको ट्रांसलेट करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, डायरेक्टली इंग्लिश बोल सकते हैं, तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आप वो करो, अच्छी बात है. बट इफ़ यू डू ट्रांसलेशन, सो कीप डूइंग, ओके, एंड लिसन अलॉट. So in this way, by listening, you will get words, sentences, ideas, and your mind will start getting thought, thinking, ideas to think in English, and in this way you will start thinking in English. Okay, so because you always are said, think in English, think in English if you want to speak. So this thinking cannot be happen suddenly, it cannot be happened suddenly, you cannot start thinking suddenly. आप एकदम से सोचने नहीं लग सकते हो, आप एकदम से, आपका माइंड जो है एकदम से सोचना स्टार्ट नहीं कर सकता है इंग्लिश में. So it will take time, and it is a new language for you, so it will take time, and you need to fill your mind with English structure, with English sentences, with English vocabulary, words, ideas, and keep practicing by translating. So in this way your mind will start thinking bit by bit, and in this way you can develop thinking habit. And once you will develop the thinking habit, then you will speak English, and as fluently and effortlessly. So that is why thinking is important if you want to speak English fluently, effortlessly. And I told you how you can develop thinking habit, and don't pressurize your mind to think in English. Whatever I told in this video, just follow it, and by the time you will your mind will start thinking English. It takes time. English is third language for us, not it is our first language, second language, so it will take time. So be calm and apply this method, and keep practicing. Really, you will develop this habit and speaking is effortlessly and fluently. So I hope you like this video. If you like, then like, subscribe and share. Bye bye, we will meet in next video.